Back again, y'all. Welcome to another edition of Live this week, man. I thought I had to come in here quick, man, because whenever I hear discussions or I talk to my people, I think it's best to always put things in perspective. I'm gonna start off first by saying welcome. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy King Crowder with an edition of Live on Wednesday. Let me turn down this light so I get my vibe, y'all. If you haven't heard, Young Thug is free. What I want to dive into, ladies and gentlemen, is this. We do not have a justice system. We have a court system. Let me say it again. We do not have a justice system in this country. We have a court system. Young Thug fought the battle of his life. But you got to remember, it was the state of Georgia versus himself. Now that the state of Georgia's had a round at him and he has beaten them, he has gotten 15 years of probation. Many of us are uneducated on what probation is, how deep probation goes, what probation actually means. So I think when we have these conversations, we got to break down what is probation. Probation is community supervision under the law. So that means even though you are out on bail or bond, you still got to be watched. That could be ankle monitor. That could be check-ins. That could be checking your phone. That could be running your credit. That could be servicing you in any way possible. With you being on probation, what that means is that any unlawful act or condition you do results in jail time. So when you get probation, y'all, when you hear these terms of, I'm going to get this much time in probation coming with you, your lifestyle got to change. And somebody that got family that once had to go to court and got on probation, you got to understand one rule cracks you. So if that probation officer call you at 6 a.m. and said, you got to be here right now, peeing in the cup, you got to do it. If you have any family member that has a felony, a record, and street stuff, fighting, whatever, you can't do it. 15 years of your life, you can't smoke. You got to be monitored, tested. Your travel restrictions must be there. Your life must change. We forget that jail time seems like it's much more difficult. But 15 years of probation for somebody that's used to living the life he lived, that ain't easy. I'd argue that's a setup. How Thug is, how Thug lives, the entertainer lifestyle, the lifestyle he has to maintain. Do you know how difficult that's going to be? You know how hard it's going to be for him to travel back and forth, state to state, make his money, do everything he got to do, and maintain his innocence? Let's not forget, maintain a family, a life, a resources. We got to understand all of those dynamics go into things like that when we face legal battles in this country. When we face legal battles in this country, many of us are not educated on the process after it. He got free because he had the money for a proper defense team. If you don't have money, don't go to trial. Bottom line. If you ain't got retainer, bail, bondsman, don't go to trial. If you don't have the proper means to defend yourself in this country, you will do jail time. In this country, even though it's hard to admit, if you don't have the proper resources set up, you will get in trouble. It is what it is. If you have the money to defend yourself, you have more possibility to get out. Let's think about it. He was facing gang leadership charges, RICO's accusations, and all of them on his records. And he had the money for the greatest events team in the state of Georgia. Now, as we mentioned, y'all, the state of Georgia laws are different from everywhere else. When you live in one state, you have to understand under that state's jurisdiction, you can get free in those counties. The state of Georgia, he battled them and he defeated them. However, you must understand that you defeated that DA and you defeated that state. They won't get back. You can't move like how you move. You can't operate how you want to operate. You have to fully transform and transition your life. Not saying it can't be done, but we got to understand this is the first half of how Thug got his freedom. Thug now has to adjudicate and change everything in his lifestyle. No more slat, YSL, any of that. Everything about him must change. Yes, man, this is a win for his family, his kids, his loved ones. I agree with that. But I want everybody to understand probation is not a joke. It's a setup. It's unrealistic expectations set on you that you got to oblige by no matter what. Remember, if your PO officer knock on your door and say you got to get up and come with me, you got to go. No questions asked. If you have anybody around you that got a felony and you moving like that, you are a chance to get yourself in trouble. So when we hear these type of things, I want everybody to always remember, man, we talk about justice and all of that, but in actuality, we don't have a justice system. We got a court system, bro. Our court system caters to those that have money. Our court system caters to those who have the right to defend themselves. If not, you're going to get railroaded through. Perfect case of scenario, Tory Lanez. If you ain't living under a rock, I'm going to transition back to Thug in a second. Tory is coming back on those charges again about his attorney going through the court cases where they actually quit on the job. It may seem crazy, but I got good enough memory when Tory Lanez's father said that he had trumped up charges against him. Hey, the charges were fake. Everything that's put on my name didn't happen. It's not true. If you remember, most Black American men, Black men in this country, are falsely imprisoned. The Innocence Projects are about wrongfully convicted Black men. Forget Megan for a second. It is record. It is documented that saying most Black men go to prison on chumped up things, ladies and gentlemen. It's the truth. I ain't saying it. Read. Look at things. So when Tory say these things are happening to me and I had things happen, I was signing documentation I wasn't aware, we got to understand that he had money. He didn't have the money that going against him that he had. Not the situation, but in the court of law, you was going against the battle and maybe you didn't get that proper guidance. Maybe the charges that were, you were a little bit made up. As in the Thug case, he had his money right. So as you go through these situations, as a man, as a brother, you got to, number one, know what's your situation. State by state, some states' gun laws are more tougher. California, if you got a blicky on you, you going to jail. 100%. Georgia, crimes, lax, what they got going, pro-gun rights, you might have a chance. Cali, any of those other states like that, you not getting out, cuz. I don't care what nobody say. They can tell you what they want to say. Different laws of this country are different. I like to let people know one thing for real. We do not live in different states. We live in different countries. There is no way Georgia and California are the same. I live in Texas. There's no way Virginia and Texas are the same. Virginia and Louisiana. These countries that you travel into, you must know the laws of the land. If you travel internationally, you go to one of the Middle Eastern countries. They are a theocracy. Religion heavily influences their laws. You got to know that. When you go to some of these European countries, they go by the old historical documentation. That means some of the times you are guilty until you prove yourself innocent. You got to know these laws. If you go to China and they are a communist country, the government influences and controls what the law of the nation is. When you go in and out of these places and you are going here, y'all, you got to be knowing what's going on. And the dangerous part is that we can do things, but we think, oh, I'm in Cali, it ain't going to hold the same weight. Yes, it do. It holds the same weight. No matter if you're in Georgia, Cali, you got to know laws depending on where you at is real. If you got a strap in New York, Cali, or DC, you doing time, dog. No questions asked. You are doing time. If you Young Thug, you got to leave the state of Georgia. All the beef, all the name, you're hot in the streets, he can no longer live in the state of Georgia. He got to move to somewhere else where it's neutral and his name don't carry that much weight in these streets. And I know it's uncomfortable to say that. I know it makes it seem like I got to get off the block or you running me away. But in actuality, man, a lifestyle change got to come from all of this. And the lifestyle change is going to be severe. It's going to be hard because you got family, you got friends. This is what you know. But what you know right now is telling you, man, 15 years of probation is a suicide watch. I don't care what nobody say. You can't do none of the lifestyle things you once did. You got to change them all. Now, going to prison, you detox your body. You may have a better leg up, but you got to think, your family members that got crime and straps on their belt, they can't come around you no more. Your kids that went there and had the situation going on, you got to let all that die down. Your enemies, your loved ones, how you love Atlanta, that's all done, bro. 10 years. You might as well say life. Because if you go back and you try to do these type of things, your day ain't going to be hot out there. And remember, running a stoplight is better than your probation. Arguing with somebody on the streets is better than your probation. Telling people you ain't going to do this, you ain't going to do that, that's better than your probation. Any act that is assumed as a crime against the law or laws of that land, you going to jail, dog. And remember, when you get out on probation years and you go back in, that's the time you got to do mandatory. Time served is 14 years. True. But time guarantee that you got to uphold and hold up on your own end, that's different, cuz. And I know. When you say those type of things, people look at you like you're crazy. They say, King Carter, what you know, man? You ain't never faced that. True. I got enough family, friends, and loved ones to know, man, the streets is not undefeated. If you in the streets, you got to have money for this worst case scenario. Because what's going to happen? Streets are unorthodox, it's uncode of for, everybody against everybody. You got to have your own rules and your own set of standards. As you see going now, you see how it changed in a lifetime. Dudes that did dirt, that came out, now they being rewarded from it. If you a stunned up guy, you ain't getting rewarded from it. You got to move and operate different to make your laws and your land operate in different systems. As I said again, we got to understand that legal battles in this country are 100% related to money. 100% influenced by finance. 100% influenced by whose bank taking a little bank. If you are in this country, you see what's happening. If you see what's happening, if you see what's going on, you got to move yourself in a different position. As I said in the title of this program, remember, y'all, if you're a black man in this country, we don't have a justice system. We got a court system. The court system works the way it's supposed to work. If you ain't got money, you got to defend yourself. If you don't have proper legal representation, you got to defend yourself. If you don't have access to buy a defense team, you got to learn how to defend yourself. That's it. That's truly what court is. The Thug trial shows you what court is. It shows you, hey, this gentleman right now getting out of court, facing these charges, he got free. He did. But now that he got free, what's the expectations moving forward? You know, it's the one thing that's hardest to deal with, y'all. Is real life expectations. I got a great video I want to show to you by academics, man. Speaking on that Tory trial, fair use, baby. Comment, like, and subscribe. I want y'all to see this right quick.
So she eventually gets off the case, but then she drops a book, and this becomes interesting. So you're telling me she quits being Tory's attorney, and then a co-executive produces a Hulu television series called Reasonable Doubt? Now, just a little bit of Googling. Jay-Z first album name. Well, that could be coincidence. All right, let's just keep it going. Let's go to an episode guide. First episode is called Can't Knock the Hustle. Let me just Google. Jay-Z Can't Knock. It's a Jay-Z song. All right, it's a little bit of a coincidence. Second one, Family Feud. Jay-Z and Beyonce got a song called Family Feud. Let's go to song 3. 99 Problems. I don't got to Google that one. So you telling me my lawyer that's defended me against Jay-Z's company, Rock Nation's, like one of their biggest assets, Meg, quit defending me and drops a TV show and names the show after Jay-Z's infamous classic album, Reasonable Doubt, and every episode is named after a Jay-Z song? The Tory in jail right now swinging in the air.
And that's facts. If you did not know those things behind that case, you got to understand that these are things that were records being held against that man. As I will keep saying to you, I want to give you sayings that's going to stick with y'all. When you see the justice system and how it works in this country, we think, oh, it's going to be justice. No. Justice off of those that can pay for it. The stories in our life, the stories that we see are 100% influenced by who can provide them. If you don't have the money to defend yourself, if you don't have the money to pursue these charges, if you don't have the money to make these things happen, it's going to hurt you. That's the truth. And as much as we don't like to say it or admit it, we see these cases among wealthy, affluent, poor, lower class. And if you don't believe me, I encourage everybody. One thing. What's that, King Crowder? I want you to just go to court, a criminal justice court. I would say a child support, a family court, but that's going to mess you up if you're a man. Don't do that unless you really want to be anti-everything. But go to a criminal court. And I want you to listen. And I want you to listen to the bond hearings. I want you to listen to the charges they're in for. I want you to listen who is there to defend these guys. I want you to understand when dudes are going to court, man, these petty bonds that they're getting, these lawyer and these attorney fees, it's going to shock you. You're going to realize most of these guys are here for petty crimes. Couple hundred, couple thousand, couple racks. It ain't much. So you mean to tell me you hold this man against his will because he can't get out because a couple $1,000? That's what he in jail for? Oh, it's really about the bond and how the court is going to recoup his money. Oh, it's really about the system remaining profitable by using it because those that cannot pay got to make it keep going. That's why I love to hit those points again. We do not have a justice system because if we did, look at all the justice crimes we don't have in this country. I'm going to give you a great one. Tulsa victim crimes. If we truly had a justice system and we know we had victims from around that time who died because of these accusations, they would get justice. No. We have a system that feeds it, unfortunately, that feeds the bodies, the work, the money. That's how it works. And a lot of people don't like to talk about it. I don't understand why, but it is what it is. How much longer do you got to see it rinsed, washed, and repeated over and over and over again? My bold prediction right now, Thug, 15 years of probation is a long time, cuz. Random documents, court dates, show up, drug testing, screenings. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. Because when you go through that type of thing and you got to deal with it long term, you can't have no slip up. Because when you have a slip up, they're going to throw you back in the banking. As anybody I know, exclude myself, that has had to deal with probation, there's two remarks I always hear. Probation is not for the weak. Probation's intent is to put you back in jail. Everybody I know that's dealing with it on a certain type of level, especially most black men, it's hard. The checking, the documentation, the requirements, what you got to do, it is not easy. So even though it may appear that he got in jail and get out of jail free card, it's hard. Community service that watches you and monitors your life ain't easy, cuz. It ain't. So I want you to understand something, y'all. Once you get inside that system and you got to deal with the crimes and the money repercussions that come behind that, number one, you can do thug right, have your money right for the lawyer. Number two, you got to know whatever charges, whatever go down with it, you got to deal with it. And number three, it ain't going to be fair. You ruined people's career. Those DAs lost against you. You have permanently stained their record. They lost a state RICO case. Wow. You know how bad that's going to look on them? Do you got to understand, if you're in the legal office of Georgia right now and you lost a battle against people that tried to put you in jail, a fellow rapper, and you beat them in court, you know how dangerous that is? I don't know if y'all remember the story of OJ, but OJ beat them the first time in California. What got him again is that he did the same thing and they just retried him again. So right now, Thug got to understand that I'm fighting for the rest of my life, cuz. Any situation, any court battle, they gonna remember that. Some people got long memories. Some people got long feelings. So you may have gotten past on this one time, but now that you're moving around, making your money, living your lifestyle, you got to change completely. Because no matter where you go, I know this guy, I know buddy, they going to want to put you back in there. They are. It's the uncandid, unapologetically truth that we got to discuss. And it's not fair, it's not fun, it's not comfortable to talk about. It's good to celebrate the wins, but while we celebrate the wins, we got to understand it's a war out here. You in the battle now. You did what you did. I ain't justifying that. You got the court battles. You beat them the way you beat them. But now you have to continue to fight. They are going to continue to go after you, Thug. They are. Oh, Gucci got off and changed his life around. Gucci was older. Gucci had life experiences. Gucci wasn't as popping. He wasn't as activist of. Gucci was never a gang guy. Gucci was a drug addict. Let's keep it real. Overweight, met somebody, wanted to settle down, have a family. Thug's lifestyle was different. He lost a baby mama while he was in jail. Remember, she got shot and killed. What she had to deal with at the time affected him and psychologically still probably affecting him. As we see that. So even though we know these charges are coming the way they're coming, even though we know he deserves and got out what he's supposed to, man, the heavier the head, the worse the crime. Let's play documentation when Thug got released. What he look like?
All right, Sergeant, can you swear in Mr. Williams?
Jeffrey Williams, Jeffery Williams.
Mr. Williams, is there anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, my managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just having so much time investing into this, and I am a smart guy. I am a good guy. And
I want to point out something right now. That brother remorseful right now. Shout out to Thug. He's remorseful.
I really got a good heart. I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad. And they don't really have to have nothing to do with you, but it could end bad and it could, fall on you. And I know the choice is yours, it's up to you. And I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's.
And I'm happy the brother's getting a second chance, man. He sounds very remorseful. He got a family, he got friends. He sounds very remorseful as we're listening to him. He sounds coherent. He sounds clear, getting his weight back. We'll see what he keep going.
Unless it's at a, bar in the future or something, just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. I come from nothing and I've made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because you made everything fair.
Wow. Hearing Thug say this, man, shows me an incredible amount of growth from the brother. I want y'all to hear the respect, the admiration he has. What he's saying. He's publicly showing remorse. He's showing that he understands. He's showing that he's compassionate. He's showing how court is supposed to be handled in the masterclass. You got to understand. When you're in a legal battle, y'all, and you're facing something, and you're going through things, and it's really a struggle, how you respond to your charges and your accusations really matter. That's what he's showing.
For me and everybody involved on both sides, I'm sorry to the sheriff, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, and I just hope that you find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community, all people. I learned that late, these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late. And maybe it was because I was, probably on drugs or anything. I don't know. But I have came to my senses.
I want y'all to pay attention to how many times he said, I I take accountability. I'm listening to what these things are saying. I'm making better decisions. I'm making the ownership to do better. I want to know how powerful that is. Good job by his legal team for sure.
I understand what I mean to this world, but I am a good guy. You know, I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows, and I always did that. You know, I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to single parent charity. And I did more than anybody ever did from my side. Rap lyrics, I understand how it could be twisted. I understand what it could do to the mind of people. I understand all that, and I promise you, I'm 100% changing that. You know, I'm older, I'm grown now, you know, and it's just like I'm smarter. It's more things to rap about. Like I've experienced a lot of good things. I experienced more bad things, but I experienced a lot of good things too. And anyway,
shout out to Thug, man. Life is about chances of what happened to you. What he said in that interview, he deserves to get his time served and everything that he had to deal with. But this is a good light shed moment for him. You got to make that choice of where you want to be at, big dog. You do. So what you choose to do from this moment forward is going to be a reflection on you and your character and what your family got going on. As you can see these activities and what you've been doing, it's going to have a long-term effect on you. How many times did he say I in those opening statements? I counted at least like 37. Phenomenal way. The coaching, the progress that he took, the understanding, the people he left listening to, his lawyers. What we got to understand, though, is that, man, the battle still ain't over. The battle still ain't over. You still got to fight this battle. You still got 15 years of probation you still got to deal with. So as he's going through this battle, man, this got to be a watershed moment for all men. I love to do what did you learn from it? We learn right now that the RICO statute is no joke. We learn that they're targeting music labels. We learn that they will incarcerate you based off the signs, the things that you do can be associated with gang activity. We learn that your name, your weight, your records, your lyrics, your artists, listen to me. Your things you say will be held against you. If you are in the state of Georgia, they will put out a state RICO on you. If you in the state of Texas, California, wherever you've seen these state RICO charges been, they will put it on against you. Now, what else have we learned? That the state RICO is not as much weight as the federal RICO. Think about it. States lose their charge. Federally, they don't lose. So what that shows me is that, number one, some of those DAs look bad. Straight up. With those DAs looking bad, are they going to seek vengeance? Are they going to let it slide? Will Thug still have to look over his shoulder for the rest of his life? Will he have beef, testimony? What other activities will he have to face? You ain't got to agree with me, but what you got to learn is this. Battle. It's just beginning, baby. I had to jump on this live just to break it down because I think a lot of people don't understand that the court system, the justice system does not protect us. It protects those that have the money to defend themselves. We got to understand as people, when we talk about the law, different laws of the land, it is your job to be educated on it. It is scary to be out here in these streets and not know how life's going to be. It is scary to see how these times going to fall to us. Thug and Tory are just a random, regular brother that we see every day. If you fighting something in this country and you don't have the means to protect yourself, don't do it. If you know that the battles that face you will be dangerous, don't do it, cuz. Bottom line, every situation you see in life, y'all, take something from it, learn from the good and the bad, and most importantly, don't repeat it. I stress that hard enough because I see guys repeating the same cycle, man, and nothing looks worse than a crash out. When we say these words, I'm crashing out, I'm doing this, ain't nothing worse than that. Because when you crash out, you will be the first one to know ain't nobody looking out for you, bro. Out of sight, out of mind. In jail, not being held down. The best thing, the most gangster thing you could ever do is turn your life around. Master P. I love you. I want to see you do well. I want you to love, have family with yourself. I want you to continue your birthday, enjoy your holidays. But I want to come in and just chop it up, man, because we got to understand the law and the legal battles we face as black men. It's dangerous. You're a brother in this country. The law, the legal battle ain't for you. We got to start saying that. Remember, court and legal battles are different. Justice and upholding integrity, different. You got to know up here, once you enter these things, your back will be against the wall. Come in knowing that. I love you, man. I hate to see our brothers strong constantly struggle with that. I hate to see them battle. I hate to see them lack of respect and empathy. But you got to know, we are fighting these battles constantly. Until next time, it's your boy, King Crowder, with another edition of Live on Wednesday. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, baby. I just want to come chop it up quick with my people. I wanted to let you know this battle is real, man. Chop it up, not just about Young Thug, but about our legal system that we face in this country. And remember, street brothers, we need you. College brothers, it's our job to reach out to us. If we are out organized and not on code with each other, know what's going on, we will continue to fight the same battles on and on and on. I hope you learned something today. I hope you support your boy in any way possible. Book out, family out, outing, multiple venues and events coming on. Remember, we are not outnumbered. We are out organized. Until next time, it's your boy. Check it out.